at Group Joker, and today we will talk about smartphone case. In the advance of modern technology, more and more students will use their cell phones during the class. Some of the students will put away their cell phone during the class. However, there are still some students who are using their cell phone during the class. And in this example, Miss Lin, who is a teacher, she observed the situation, and first she tried to stop those students who always use the cell phone. And first she tried to stop Tony, but Tony just ignored her and keep playing his cell phone during the class. So in this situation, what Miss Lin should do, we have side A and side B. In side A, we will talk about Miss Lin should stop Tony, and in side B, we talk about Miss Lin should ignore Tony. So now we will let side A talk first.
We are side A. Hello, I'm Ray, and if I was Miss Lin, I would choose to stop Tony under that situation. And I support the solution to stop Tony by warning his behavior. Then I think that Miss Lin could temporarily take away his phone. Note that temporarily taking away his phone and returning it does not really offend the crime of conversion, so it doesn't harm the teacher for doing this. And I support this solution by the following few points. First of all, I believe that the school is a place to learn not only academic knowledge. Socializing and following the rules is also part of what students should learn. By restricting the students, teachers can help the students build up a good habit to follow the rules and control themselves, even after in the future. And secondly, the addiction toward the smartphones and the internet is well known. It has been shown through various researches that the smartphone brings negative influences to students and learners, including distracting its users. Some may argue that smartphones can be used as a tool to assist learning. However, it is hard to make sure that all students do not use social media or play games during the process. By putting away the smartphones, teachers can help the students to concentrate on their learning. Third, going to the school means that the student is going to join into group life or school life. And the school life acts just like a mini society. Just like the law in the society, rules in school helps maintain the order in class or in school. Students breaking the rules and get away without getting punished may cause others to imitate his behavior because they got ignored and doesn't take any other punishments. Eventually leading to the situation that the laws and the rules are nothing but just an empty shell, and that does not work properly in terms of keeping the class in order. Finally, I think the teacher should give or inform the parents with information about the children at school. And I think it is the right for the parents who send their children to school to know what the situation is going on their children. And also giving the parents information may help them understand and educate their children more. To give a conclusion, I support that the way to stop Tony's behavior by warning and taking away his phone temporarily. Not only can this help to build up good habits of following the rules, it also helps protect Tony's own and others' rights to learn. Finally, the parents have the right to know about what their children do at school, and giving them information and cooperating with them may help education going on both in family and at school. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Joyce, and I support side A to stop Tony. I support the teachers to stop Tony's behavior. The solution that I support is that Miss Lin should contact Tony's father to let him know how his son was doing in the school. The reason why I support this solution is that Tony ignored Miss Lin when she stopped him. I think it is very disrespectful and behavioral deviation. The reason why Tony will do this is because has two reasons. One is for his personality, another is for family education. For the personality part, I think Tony wants to attract Miss Lin's attention, so he keep playing his phone in the class. And for the family education part, I think if he did this to Miss Lin, he definitely will do the same thing to his parents. If not, I think teachers should also let his parents know his behavior, because it's a basic manner for people, even for teacher. Also, I think parents' discipline is effective than the teacher. Since the teacher is an embarrassing position, it is hard to control the appropriate discipline for students. There's a lot of news for teachers who were sued by students because of the inappropriate discipline. Therefore, I think contact to his father is the best solution. Through communicate to his parents, it is much easier to figure out the problem in Tony. And the teacher can focus on the problem to figure out some useful solutions to solve Tony's problems. Once they have a common understanding, they can cooperate and solve the problem in a short time. In conclusion, as an old saying goes, Rome wasn't built in one day. They must have some problems with Tony. I think the behavioral deviation of Tony is hard to correct. The parents' help is needed. Therefore, these are the reasons why I chose these solutions. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Elisa. I'm side A. If I were missing, I wouldn't let my student play cell phone in the class. If Tony ignores me, I would ask his classmates to look at him until he put down his cell phone. And why I do this? The first reason is playing cell phone in the class is inappropriate. And as a teacher, it's my responsibility to teach my students to behave well. So I have to tell them that what is right and what is wrong. The second is playing cell phone in a class distracts students' attention, since they will always focus on their cell phone, and it will also lose their learning ability because they wouldn't listen to the teacher or focus on the lecture. And the third point is, what if other classmates see Tony and also learn from his bad habits? Then there were more and more people, they don't want to focus on the class. And moreover, what if Tony keeps these bad habits, and when he enters into the workforce, he might also do the same thing. For example, in a meeting, he might also play with his cell phone, or when he is in his working hour, he might also play with his cell phone instead of doing his job duty. So I think the best way is to ask Tony to put down his cell phone immediately. And also remind other classmates that playing with their cell phone in a class is not appropriate. And it will also shows that they are the person who don't respect the instructor or the teachers who standing on the stage. And it will also lower down their productivity and their attention on their study and working. In conclusion, we think playing with cell phone in the class is inappropriate. If Tony has this kind of problem, we have to solve it instead of ignoring it. And also, discipline is the important element in the class, so we have to correct his mistake. And when we do this, it's also to protect Tony's and his classmates' learning right. So that's why we choose to stop Tony playing cell phone in the class.
Now it's turn to side B.
We are on side B. Hello everyone, I'm Herman and I'm on the side B. So if I was missing, I will choose to ignore Tony. Because I think everyone has a right to learn in class, but if one student doesn't follow your instruction in class, and if you just keep stopping Tony to use smartphone in class, you're just wasting other students' time to learn. Also, even though Tony follow your instructions to stop using his smartphone, it doesn't mean he will pay attention or concentrate on your teaching in class. He may do other things such as taking a nap or chatting with others to distract other classmates. So, in my opinion, a student should be responsible for his studying behavior and his grade in class. And if Tony doesn't follow the instruction from Miss Lin, and Missing should just ignore him and just have to maintain the learning environment for all the students. And that's all my opinion.
Hello, I'm Renee, and I'm on the side B. And if I were missing, I would choose to ignore Tony's behaviors because the reason is students should be responsible for their behaviors in class. And if students don't do something affect other students' learning, I think I will not stop them using smartphone. And in this case, I think Ms. Lin may be able to tell Tony his behaviors was incorrect in the beginning. And if Tony still keeps using his smartphone, I think Miss Lin just mind her own business. And because Tony, he has to face the consequence in the future. And if Tony's grades, if he uses his smartphone in class, affect his grades, and if his parents blame Miss Lin, I think Miss Lin can just tell them Tony's behaviors in class. And she had mentioned Tony, his behaviors was incorrect. And therefore, I think Miss Lin doesn't need to be responsible for Tony's behaviors. And that's all. Thank you.
I'm Yo-Yo and I'm in the side B, so we choose to ignore Tony, this boy. And in the story, we know that the Miss Lin had already reminded Tony to not use his phone in the class, but Tony just ignored her. So I believe at this moment, Miss Lin has already fulfilled her responsibility to stop the students. Yeah, and if Miss Lin tries to do more, then she will waste other students' time. That's what I'm concerned. Yeah, and I also because I'm having a part-time job in Korean school, so I can understand Miss Lin's feeling in some way. The students don't pay attention on you and just plays with their things. It's frustrating. So yeah, but as a teacher, I believe the most important job for as a teacher is to maintain the study environment for students, and these special cases should be ignored. That's my opinion. Yeah. Conclusion is that although teachers has the responsibility to stop students, but if the students like Tony ignore teachers, then the teachers should do the same, right? Then the teachers should focus on those students who behave well and follow the rules, instead of pay attention to these bad students. And in my opinion, teachers are like farmers, and when farmers see a bad plant, what do they do? They cut them off, right? But they are human, we can't cut them off, so we just let them go. But there's one important thing teachers should do is to let their parents know this situation, so it can avoid something you don't want to see. I mean, the parents can't go to school and blah 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 blah. Yeah. So that's our conclusion.
That's all about our case.
Thank
Thank you.